Councillor Nepi, thank you very much for that beautiful waiata, and we look forward to all being able to join you in singing it very soon. Kia ora koutou katoa. Can I just welcome Councillor Heki, who is attending via Zoom today, and we also have apologies and leave of absence that have previously been granted for Councillor Watkins and Councillor Corbyn. Do I have any other cause of leave of absence? Councillor Apatu.
Thank you, Your Worship. Could I extend my leave previously granted from the 19th to the 30th to include the 31st so that I can attend governance training on the 31st?
Thank you, Councillor Apatu. Councillor Lawson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Could I have leave of absence from the 24th to the 27th of October and the 5th to the 19th of December?
Thank you, Councillor Lawson. Councillor Nepi.
Kia ora tātou, i te koromatsu, I'm seeking leave for the 24th and 26th of October to allow me to complete my final practicum of my postgraduate in teaching, and the 16th of November, which is my graduation day.
Thank you, Councillor Nepi. I'm happy to move from the chair that those leave of absence be accepted, seconded by Councillor Redstone. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Thank you, that is carried. Confirmation of minutes. That the minutes were held on the 14th of September be confirmed as a true and correct record. I have a mover, please, for those minutes. Thank you. Councillor Dixon, seconded Councillor Nepi. Any additions or changes to those minutes? All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Thank you, that is carried. Now we move to item number 5, the appointment of Hiri Taunga Takoto Noa Māori Standing Committee. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I take the report as read.
Thank you. Any questions, councillors, on this paper? Pretty straightforward to have a new director representing HTST on our Hiri Taunga Takoto Noa committee. I have a mover, please. Councillor Nepi, seconded Councillor Kerr. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Thank you, that's carried. Item number 6, welcome to Mr. Craig Cameron. This is the amendments to the strategy and policy fields of activity, renaming the committee and the kaupapa to Strategy and Recovery Committee. Thank you, Mr. Cameron.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just take the report as read. We have suggested adjustment to the wording of recommendation D for the Council's consideration. I'll just ask the team to bring that up on the screen. And aside from that, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. This is going to be a strategically important committee as we move forward into our recovery, which we know will take the next 5 years at least. And it's absolutely critical that we have good reporting back through our standing committees on our recovery with all parties involved in recovery. As we know, a lot of our mana whenua hapu were impacted by Cyclone Gabrielle, and having 2 representatives of Hiri Taunga Takoto Noa on there will be very helpful, as long as our rural, as well as our rural community who were largely impacted through Cyclone Gabrielle, having their input into our strategy as we move forward is going to be critical in this very important standing committee. Councillor Fowler.
Through you, Your Worship, how long do you think this committee will be functioning?
I think it's a work in progress, Councillor Fowler, but I think it's going to be 5 years. But you know, that will be determined by the next council in 2 years' time, as the mayor and the council sets up a governance structure. But certainly for the next 2 years, we need to be very focused both on our strategy and our recovery, and this will be the standing committee to deliver that. Councillor Kerr.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm really pleased with those changes and look forward to hearing who the two Heretaunga Takatonoa members will be once I've had a chance to review this. And having an alternate for both Heretaunga Takatonoa and the Rural Community Board will certainly make sure that we have a full house each meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kerr. I think that's a very good addition. I think it's absolutely critical that we get people who are onto the committee who have been impacted by the cyclone, because it's their recovery that we're on about here, that we're managing and looking after and making sure it's happening in good time. So that's having that alternate is going to be very helpful. Councillor Lawson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm happy to move the recommendations. It makes complete sense to include, the recovery leadership and priorities under this committee.
Councillor Lawson, do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Butto, any further questions or comments about this committee? Thank you. I'll put those recommendations. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Any against? Thank you. That is carried. Thank you very much to Craig and your team for actioning this as promptly as we have. Item number 7 is the renaming of Dennis Place, Flaxmere, and welcome to Dave Bishop. Henry, did you, and after Dave's spoken, Henry, you might like to speak about this naming of this area? Thank you, Dave.
Sure.
Yep, no, this one's just a pretty much a procedural issue there. We originally named it Dennis Place in accordance with the policy, and then we subsequently received the request from the Methodist Church, the pretty bland name. I guess Dennis doesn't really relate to anyone, so we probably, in this instance, we can make an exception to make it the full name for Dennis Oliver, given he was quite renowned in the community for that basis. So other than that, that's basically what the recommendation is. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Dave. Henry, would you like to add anything? Did you meet Mr. Dennis Oliver at all through the Samoan community?
No, but I, not personally. However, I am aware that through the previous councillors and a lot of the work that's been done within our Samoan community, and as noted in the documents, has been recognised by the Samoan community as a high chief, a matai. The land was purchased by them, and I think it's pendant to their existence and their community, with the early childhood centre being built there and being a part of the land, the turning of the soil when it was blessed and things like that. I think it's just prudent that it goes to Dennis, from Dennis to his surname, so it can actually tell a story. And I think it's the great story that needs to be told, and happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor Hickey, would you like to move the recommendations?
I'm sorry, through your worship. Yep, happy to move the recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Napier?
Would like to second it.
Thank you. Any further questions on the naming of Dennis Oliver? No? I'm happy to put those recommendations. Sorry, Councillor Hickey?
Just through the worship, the officer please explain the next steps? I know it was highlighted in the document. Can you just kind of, all of us who are in attendance?
Thank you, Dave.
Yep, sure. So just basically that gets notified through to Land Information New Zealand. Then it gets basically updated on their national database. And then as this is a result of sort of a building consent, the developer essentially will put up the road name sign once they've completed the development. Yep.
Will there be a karakia or any kind of ceremony as we did like with Whakaruru, Chris?
I'm sure if the community wanted that, they could probably arrange that one without too much trouble.
I think that'd be wonderful, Henry. Dennis's wife Jean and you met and I met at the opening of the Samoan Wesley Church Hall opening, as well as his daughter, and I'm sure that the whānau would love to have a special ceremony. If you could pick that up with our team, that would be great.
Yeah, happy to talk to Jacopo, the minister involved with that as well. Kia ora.
Yes, kia ora. Thank you, Henry. Awesome. Thank you
you.
very much, Dave. I'll put those recommendations. All those in favour, please say aye. Any against?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. So, thank you. That was a yes, councillor Heke?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Awesome. We just couldn't hear this end very well. Thank you very much. Item number 8, Louise, a proposed amendment to the schedule of meetings.
Happy to move, Your Worship.
Thank you. Have a seconder? Thank you. Councillor Apatu, second. Did you want any explanation as to why we are postponing performance and monitoring? No, everyone's comfortable with that direction? Or is it you, Mr Allen? Putting your microphone on, I see.
I could provide an explanation.
Okay,
Your
thank you.
Worship. Really, it's around providing staff it's a little bit more time to prepare a revised view of the performance and monitoring report. A lot of work's been going into recreating that to make it more efficient for councillors to digest, but also more efficient for officers to prepare.
Happy to put that recommendation. All those in favour, please say aye. Any against? Thank you, that's carried. Item 9, there's no minor items to today, and item 10. Thank you, Nigel.
Yes, Your Worship, we're asking the council to consider an extraordinary item of business that wasn't on the agenda due to basically the government announcement of funding coming post to the preparation of the council agenda for today.
So that item is in public excluded.
And public excluded, but dealing with the reason for dealing with it outside of normal processes in an extraordinary matter.
Okay. I'm happy to move from the chair that an extraordinary meeting be included in this agenda, seconded by councillor Fowler. All those in favour, please say aye. Any against? Thank you, that's carried. And the recommendation to exclude the public for item 12 and 13, I'll now refer to Mr Cameron to explain why our community is not included in those items.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Both members recommended to be heard in exclusion. Both papers referred to council being in negotiations to conclude commercial agreements, so it's to protect commercial sensitivities and enable those negotiations to be completed freely and unhindered.
Anyone have any questions on those items being put into public excluded today? No questions? Do I have a mover, please? Councillor Sholem, seconded Councillor Butto. No further comments or questions? All those in favour, please say aye. Any against? Thank you, that's carried. Now we move into public excluded, and we thank any of our community. It was a very short council meeting today, but that's the nature of our business at the moment. We're having lots of council meetings to deal with all our issues as they arise. So thank you to our members, community members who have joined us today. Kia ora.